Diamond Painting friends, Jessica here with Tiny Worlds of Wonder, stopping in to share a post review of this beautiful decorative horse by Nicole Payne via Treasure Studios Art. I've had a wonderful time with this canvas. I just have about the last 10 drills or so to do here today, so we'll do them together and I'll tell you a little bit about what I thought about this canvas. Hint, I already said it. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Things are fine around Tiny Worlds of Wonder's house. The girls are working a whole lot, more than I am in some ways, which is kind of strange, but we're all doing really well. And I hope you are too. I hope you're staying sane and healthy and all those important things. So I was thinking as I was sitting here finishing up this horse today, that this horse looks so much like a horse my grandpa had named Ginger that gave me my very first experience with horses, which was she ran away with me because she got chased by a dog and I was about 5. And so ever since then I've been convinced that horses are just big scary dogs, really. Horses are beautiful, but I find them a little bit threatening for some reason. Well, probably for that reason. All right, 2, 1. We're done. All right, let me move my drills out of the way. So I ordered this canvas back in the spring. It did take a little while to get to me. I'm sorry I didn't write that down so that I could tell you, but I want to say 6 weeks or so. Take a sip of coffee because the allergies are strong and I'm all froggy again today. This has only 29 colors. Let's turn it the right direction now. I started it on June 7th, right after I finished Sleeps with Butterflies, and it took me a good 6 weeks, which I was a little surprised by because rounds are usually pretty fast. But let me tell you a couple unique things about Treasure Studios Art. Treasure Studios Art uses a mounting film for its adhesive. It has the texture of a double-sided tape, but you can't slide drills around into position quite as much as you can with double-sided tape. So it's a double-sided adhesive texture with a clear cover. So it's kind of an interesting way to attach drills. And I have to say, I have never worked on an adhesive that felt more secure than this one. I feel like I could take this canvas outside and flap it in the breeze like a flag, and these drills would not go anywhere. So I'm impressed with the durability of the adhesive. Here's one of the reasons that this canvas took me so long. I'm gonna show you a little something here. Hopefully white drills will show up on camera in my white boat. Let me bring you in a little bit. So normal round drills are 2.8 millimeters. These round drills are 2.5 millimeters. So they are the same size as square drills, which means there are more drills on this 40 by 50 round canvas than a typical round drill canvas, which means the resolution of the image is as high as it would be for a square, but still in a round. And for those of you who love rounds, that might be a really big plus for you. I think the rendering on this turned out beautifully. This is a gift for someone, and I'm super excited to give it to them because it's just gorgeous. It turned out beautifully at 40 by 50. I will say that there are some little artifacts where some tiny details just don't translate very well, and that, let me move you up this way. You can really see one here. That's really common for diamond painting, especially in really detailed images. So I'm actually, because I have plenty of drills left in all my colors, plenty of drills, I'm actually gonna sub out some of these kind of artifacted areas a little bit. I don't feel like I have to for this to look good, but I think I want to. I like to put my little finishing touches on everything. And I think in this area where this is actually like a strand of hair that comes down in the front. There's a name for that part of a horse's hair and I can't remember what it is now. But there's a strand of of hair that comes down over her eye here that doesn't translate perfectly in diamond painting. So what I might do here actually is just sub out some drills so that this just looks like her face, and then leave this little strand of hair down here. So I think I may have a go at that. This, because it's a round and because the rounds are small, this is so sparkly. It is the sparkliest diamond painting I've ever finished. It's gorgeous. A lot of my drills were stuck together, but I had plenty of drills to finish with. What I ended up doing, for those of you who are kind of new, I'll show you how I handled that. This 939 seemed to have a lot of stuck together drills in it. What I did was just take my big boat, and you can do this with two similarly sized boats as well. It'll still work. I just laid one boat on the other and just sort of smooshed some of those drills. That separates enough of them to work on, and then when I need a few more, do it again. So that's a useful procedure, but like I said, I had plenty of drills that were good and just fine to finish this canvas. I had a few concave, but nothing out of the realm of what I would consider an excellent quality canvas. My criteria for recommending a diamond painting is always, was the quality good? On this canvas, the quality was excellent. Like I said, you can't slide your drills. You do have to lift them with tweezers, which is a little bit different. You have to get used to it, but the mounting film is very strong. It feels like the rendering is beautiful, and this is not the biggest size this canvas comes in, so it's actually a pretty moderately sized canvas and really good detail at that size because of those small round drills. A few artifacting issues here, but I am extremely happy with the rendering. Overall, I had an incredible experience on this canvas. Based on this experience, I would definitely recommend Treasure Studios art as a great source for legally licensed artwork, a lot of unique artwork. I have to say a lot of their artwork doesn't appeal to my sensibility personally, but I find that as Rachel expands her selection, I find more things that interest me. And I know that Nicolee Payne has a whole series of these horses that would be fun to do as a gift for this particular horse lover in my life. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of work here on camera, subbing out some drills, because I want to show you how I might do that. If you want to head out here and you don't want to watch that process, I hope you have a great week. Otherwise, stick around and I'll show you kind of how I would do that. All right, I went ahead and did some of the easier edits off camera. I could never paint as well as Nicolee Payne. Nicolee, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Your artwork is beautiful. It's amazing. Thank you for letting me show it here on the channel. Of course, look for a link to Nicolee's website down in the description below, along with a link to this canvas so that you can get one for yourselves, because it's pretty darn amazing. I actually pulled up the picture on the screen to use as reference a little bit. I cleaned up a little bit of the artifacting up here, just connected some lines here and here just lightly, cleaned up some of the little whiskers around her snoot that weren't quite translating perfectly to diamond painting. And then I gave her a little haircut down here, just because in the original painting, this is such a beautiful element. It's kind of a wavy a little curl here, but it just doesn't show up very well on my canvas. So I gave her a little haircut there. It, like I said, not as beautiful as what Nicolee did, but it is what it is. So when I'm editing drills, I usually have my trash container out, have my drills out, I have a couple boats out, just because I'm gonna be yanking out some drills here. Now, when I was pulling out other drills, it didn't seem as though my adhesive was being affected. I still got a nice pop when I lifted my pen up. So just be aware that if you sub drills, it can affect the adhesive. So think about it. I'm willing to risk it on this one because I think the adhesive is rocking. So I'm gonna do what I can to sort of remove this line that goes down the face here. And my tip for doing this is really to use a camera. So I'm going to kind of be referencing my camera overhead quite a bit here. And then use the colors around what lives there as reference. Okay, so I think what I want to do here is, and it does help to stand a little further away too than what I am, because you can sort of see what's up that way a little bit better. Might come at this from a different angle. Sometimes you can see from a new view and a little further away what needs to happen. So I'm going to remove some of these really dark colored drills, and I'm sort of going to put in the drills that already live around the ones I'm pulling out. So I may have to lift up a few neighbors here just to see. So here we have symbol M. So I might use M to kind of fill in some of that area. Like I said, I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope you're working on a fun project. Me standing in a different place is going to make my audio wonky, so forgive me. The audio on this section may not be as stable as usual. So let's see what happens if we put some M's in here. And then I might see what this brown shade is. So like I said, use my colors around, around these for reference. I probably also want an M here actually, before I put it away. I lost it. And maybe here as well. Let's see. We'll see. Isn't it cool how you know this is a brown horse? Like you can tell it's a brown horse, but there are so many interesting colors in it. Blues and grays. I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. How all of that turns out looking really amazing in the end as it sort of blends together. Okay. Let's look for what this brown color is. It's Saturn. Do you guys have little names for your symbols? By the end, when you're done with your canvas, like this one to me is always Saturn because it's the rings of Saturn. You know what I'm saying? I normally don't work out of baggies, but with only 29 colors, I actually didn't find, I'm sure working out of baggies slowed me down a little bit, but not terribly, I didn't think. Let's see how brown looks in there. Okay, so like I said, when you step back, you can sometimes tell what needs to happen next. So I can kind of see this line when I stand up and where it goes. It gets a little easier to see as you go down to the bottom, I think. Oh look, the construction workers are back. I've really missed them. They're actually finishing up. So that is good. That's giving me hope for the future. If you know what I'm saying. I might just make it. These drills are not easy to get off. I feel like that's a positive sign when it comes to the quality of this piece. Here, I think I want orange, that orange shade. I try not to remove all of the, you know, that kind of speckling shading that lives in canvases. I try not to get rid of all of that because it does give some really nice variation. And I do like to save this process for the end just to make sure I have enough drills. In this case, I had a lot of leftovers, which is good. I found the one I popped into the air earlier. There's a spot I see in the camera that I can't see with my eyes. Okay, so that might actually need to be a little better blended now that I look at it a little in the camera a little more closely. I'd bring you closer, but it's actually really hard to do that with my camera setup. Plus I'm kind of using my camera to see to see a little more blended version of what I'm doing, which may not be helpful for you at all. Okay, I might do a little switcheroo here. And I'd like to see what color this blue is. A downward arrow, because I want to add one at the bottom, one or two there. This is a bit of a tedious process, I always think, because usually it just involves taking a whole lot of photos to see kind of how things are coming along. I think I'm gonna see what this guy is, gray. It does really help too to have multiple boats out when you're doing this, I think. If you can kind of keep track of things that way. And then look from a distance as often as you can, because that really does help, really helps. Let's try to decide if I need a purple one in here, but I think I might, but let's see how that goes for a second. Okay, so some of what's making our line of delineation here is actually that we have a highlight going on, I think, right here. Yeah, I think what actually needs to happen here is that we need some black and purple. You guys can probably tell actually exactly what needs to happen because you're a little farther away, which is very helpful in this process. Might add, since we sort of have some blue coming in this way, I might add a couple blue here and there. Yeah, let's see how I get on with that. Then I might move one of these kind of purples. We'll just get rid of that one. See what we can do with that right there for a minute. See if we can figure out what shade of purple that is. There are a couple in here. I think it is this one. So I'll try to kind of blend this in across here a bit, because I want to change as little as possible, of course. Because I don't want to disrupt the adhesive any more than I have to. All right, so the closest drill color we have here is 318. So let's do some 318. I might just trade one out. Sometimes it's hard to tell where you're working unless you just point to it. All right, I might just see how this looks if I go and fill this color in on the rest of that. Okay, I can tell now, having done that, that I need to do a little something here. Just because, again, it's the highlight that strand of hair is creating that's kind of causing our problem right here. So let's see what happens if I bring this brown down one more. That's our Saturn again. And then I may need one more of our purples right here. Yeah, I think that's closer to what we want. Of course, when I hang this up and walk away, I may find more things. Because like I said, the further you are away, the better you can see, and that's why taking photos can be so valuable. All right, I know that dark purple is my diamond, and I know that the navy is 939. So I'm gonna do some navy here, kind of in this border. Okay. And I might add, I think maybe purple here. Because again, what I'm trying to do is sort of get rid of that highlight that goes down across the face. Just make this look a little more blended. I think we need to go with something else there. Like I said, you guys can probably see in the camera exactly what needs to happen. It's always a good idea when you're done with this too, to just hang it up somewhere where you can stand back from it. And just sort of see what's going on. Actually we need to just fill in with a couple gray here. We'll see how that is for now. I try not to change drills too many times. Like I try to change a drill one time if I'm gonna change it. But you know. So I still feel like I can see a tiny bit right here where I'd like to just blend some dark color so it doesn't look like we have any highlight going across the face there. So maybe I will add a couple navy down here. Just because we sort of have the beginning of a line of navy there. And maybe I'll add a line of navy. Might add a purple here. I know this is a long, slow process that takes a lot of thinking. Not always a lot of talking, unfortunately. Well, maybe fortunately, I don't know. I think that one was a mistake. Right there. I think I want to trade this gray for this purple. Sometimes I just find too that I want to trade places. Right, I think I want a navy there. We'll see. We'll see if I do. See what the camera tells me. I'm confused by what the camera tells me a bit. Let's try a purple here. Okay, I think that's not too bad there. I think what I may want to do is just run. I don't like the idea of outlining too much, but I think maybe if I do a little bit of an outline down along the bottom here, it'll just give the effect that that is the edge of the face. Yeah, I think so. I might be wrong, but we'll see. Let's try a purple here. It'll give us a dark line, but not quite as dark as the navy would. I don't want it to look like I drew on it with a marker. There is one random red drill over here that I kind of want to get rid of for no other reason than I just don't think we need it. Sometimes those little spots can add a bit of detail, but sometimes they're just there because the computer couldn't quite tell what was happening. I don't think I'm still totally happy with what's going on right here. Maybe we just need to, I didn't trade these out yet, so maybe we just need to add a little brown there. Sort of a highlight just that goes along that strand of hair that I'm trying to sort of eliminate, just just because it wouldn't be there if that strand of hair wasn't there, if that makes sense. Let's try a brown, just see what happens. I think these may be making a bit of a highlight too. I hate to flatten it too much, but since we're trying to kind of eliminate that line, kind of have to get rid of the lighter drills. It may end up a bit more blocky than it might have been. Sometimes you can see in the camera something, but you can't really tell what it is. I think I traded that one out already, and I think I don't like it. That happens sometimes. All right. I think that may be what we want, or close. I'll probably continue to fiddle with this a bit, but I wanted you guys to see, even if it's a long, slow, quiet process, sort of how I handle a little bit of drill trading. And like I said, I do this on a lot of my canvases because no rendering can be perfect, even if it's hand charted, in my opinion. So it's always good, I think, to make your canvas your own in every way you can. That way you're really invested in the outcome. This canvas was among the best quality canvases that I've done since I started diamond painting. So Rachel at Treasure Studios Art, fantastic work. I think you've got a really good thing going. I hope you all have a wonderful week. As always, spread some joy wherever you are, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.